Rise and shine, Tampa Bay. We're waking up to not a great deal of cloud cover, which will lead to warm conditions this morning and for sure this afternoon. We do have a better day that you're going to want to enjoy those outdoor plans for your weekend forecast. I'm going to walk you through that hour by hour coming up.
New information this morning after a Boeing airplane skids off the runway and into a river in Jacksonville. Authorities saying it is a miracle no one was killed. Plus, a new wave of Hep A cases here in the Bay Area. 10 News uncovering dozens more never reported by the health department. This morning, we're asking why. And it's known as the fastest 2 minutes in sports. We have what you need to know about the Kentucky Derby and the local tie. Will be running or the Roses. It is Saturday, May 4th, 2019. You are up on the bright side. Hashtag on the bright side. Join us. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We want to know how you're doing this morning. We thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Josh Sidorowitz.
And I'm meteorologist Natalie Ferrari. I like to tune in as well just to know what I'm going to do for the weekend plans.
She's always getting ideas.
Yeah. Like, oh, this festival's going on? I guess I'm there.
I guess I'm going to go check it out. Although it's going to be a hot, humid day out there today if you're going to be outside doing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of muggy air, a few rain chances, but I actually think it's going to be our neighbors inland that may have to dodge.
Well, some frightening moments overnight after a 737 slides off the runway and into a river in Jacksonville. This morning, incredibly, we could report that aside from some minor injuries, everyone on board is okay and accounted for. 137 passengers and 7 crew members were on that Boeing 737 when it skidded off the runway and into the St. Johns River. That's at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville. First responders say, yeah, this could have been a whole lot worse.
I think it is a miracle. It could have ended we could be talking about a different story this evening. So I think there's a lot to say about, the professionalism of the folks that helped the passengers off the airplane. There's a lot to say about that because it very well could be worse.
Well, the plane is a charter flight that brings military personnel, contractors, and their family from the base at Guantanamo Bay twice a week. Alex Ositis reports from outside the hospital where some of the injured were taken.
Outside of Memorial Hospital, it was a much different look than late on Friday when several people were standing outside of the emergency room, all of them reporting. I'm Alex Ositis.
All right, and of course, as we do get new information here on 10 News, we'll be posting that online and on our free 10 News app. Time now is 6:04. Let's get you in the know with some other news that's worth keeping on your radar here. We will start with this new this morning. South Korean officials say they are very concerned after North Korea fired several short-range projectiles off its coast overnight. South Korea says the launches are in clear violation of last year's agreements to reduce tensions between the two countries. Also this morning, we are on top of a new wave of hepatitis A cases in the Bay Area. A worker at an Arby's in Clearwater has tested positive for the virus. That brings the number of local cases disclosed by the health department since October to 8. But we did a little digging ourselves. We found 19 more hepatitis A cases between 2018 and this year that almost nobody knew about until now. The Pinellas County Health Department says that, quote, we don't take these notifications lightly and do them only when it is necessary for public health. So put that into perspective, in just about 4 months of 2019, we've nearly surpassed all the hepatitis cases we had last year. Best way to fight it, get vaccinated or to wash your hands. All right, let's move on to this here that you've been seeing. Parishioners at a St. Paul's Catholic Church in Tampa, they are trying to figure out who is responsible for, we'll say, a holy heist. Hillsborough deputies say someone stole a statue of St. Francis of Assisi last month, worth about $10,000. Pastor says whoever did this needs to confess.
I think they need to take it.
Well, he seems to think a few teenagers are to blame, the pastor there. He says the church doesn't plan to press charges. However, they just want their statue back. On your marks, it is race day. The 145th running of the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs is tonight. Tampa Bay Downs Derby winner Tacitus is among the 20 horses running for the Roses. Of course, the Kentucky Derby is the first race of the Triple Crown of the thoroughbred racing, followed by the Preakness and then the Belmont Stakes race. And speaking of Derby Day here in Tampa, there's a little different kind of Derby race happening at the Riverfest here this morning. Brightside reporter Madison Allworth is live at Curtis Hickson Park, where that race is going to start in just a few hours. You got some friends out there, Madison. Good morning.
Hey guys, yes, We are here at Curtis Hickson Park. You're hearing some puppies because it's going to be a big day over in church, guys.
A wiener dog derby. Who knew?
And that's so neat about these Riverfest. This Riverfest event is a bunch of events.
There's so many. Yeah, there's so many different things all over the place. All right. Glad you can keep a handle on the dog there, Madison. Thank you. Well, you know, talking about Derby, it is known as the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, right?
Yeah, and we found some fun Derby facts from Town and Country magazine that you might have not known about. The Derby's traditional drink, excuse me, the mint julep.
Oh, well, we knew that.
And over 120,000 are said to be consumed each year at the race. Did you know that? Only 3 female horses have ever won, and the last time a filly or a female horse did win was actually back in 1988. All right, one last one for you though. The Derby was started by Meriwether Lewis Clark, who is the grandson of William Clark. You know, the famous explorer pair, Lewis and Clark.
Really? Okay, that I didn't.
Tie it all together.
Wow, all right, hitting me with some fast facts here.
Yeah, bam, bam, bam. Good morning.
That's a lot of mint juleps.
No kidding, just 120,000.
Hello.
Give or take or two.
Once the race is done, I remember another mint julep. All right.
No kidding.
Cheers, everybody. Next here this morning, gator mating season has these creatures taken over our neighborhoods, but the next encounter might have been a case of mistaken identity. We're up on the bright side. I'm Josh Sidorowitz.
I'm meteorologist Natalie Ferrari.
And just like that, it is summertime outside. I mean,
Basically.
Holy cow, the past few days.
Yeah, earlier this week we had some of our first 90-degree readings.
Yeah, no, I know.
And you know, we're still kind of in the middle of wrapping up April.
And potentially some rain too?
Yeah, and it's not going to be everyone, but there are going to be a few spots that have a better potential to see some of those downpours this afternoon than.
All right, hey, this just in, Boeing releasing a statement on Twitter about that crash of the 737 off the runway in Jacksonville. The company extending its well wishes to all of those involved there and saying it is providing technical assistance at the request and under the direction of the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board as the agency now conducts its investigation.
Best 2 minutes in sports.
What the Florida?
Ah, yes, we find ourselves once again here with
Right on time.
Moving on here, right on time, with some stories that'll make you say, what the Florida?
Yeah, check this out. A man in Newport Richey, officially now a Florida man, because you know that's a badge of honor, I guess.
No, it's not.
He's accused of stealing from a Walmart several times, taking nearly $5,000 worth of stuff. Well, he told police he didn't remember doing it because, get this, he has diabetes. Yeah, the only problem is that's not a symptom of that.
So he said he couldn't remember because of...
Couldn't remember stealing $5,000 worth of stuff several times, mind you.
Interesting.
Due to his illness.
Just some really low blood sugar, I guess. That's an interesting excuse. All right. Yeah. Sorry, Lawrence. And another day.
Another Florida man.
Another gator, too. And I would argue, an alligator has got to be pretty large here to be mistaken for a human being, but that is actually what happened in Miami here. Look at this. While heading back to the station, rescue workers, they stumbled on this guy. Holy cow. It was trying to cross the street. At first, they thought it was an unconscious person.
No.
It's about 10 to 12 feet long, this gator is, and after a couple tries, trappers were able to remove it, but apparently the gator did wind up being put down. I looked up why. I was wondering why. I guess just there were safety reasons. It was so big they couldn't get a good handle on it.
We can't like safely remove. That is terrifying. He is huge.
That's a big guy. Yeah.
And I feel like we talked about a story similar to this last week where a woman thought it was a human too, just knocking on her back door.
Yeah.
That was a gator.
Not a human. Not a human.
Or terrifying.
A lot of gators. Looking for love still. Are we still?
Yeah, keep this in mind, guys.
When does gator mating season end?
I don't know, but we're going to keep highlighting
Strap
it.
in. We got more coming in the weekends ahead, all right? In the meantime, a hepatitis A scare, which we've been talking about here at a St. Pete restaurant, as a popular spot, making some major changes. Time now for your health checkup here this morning. In a push to contain the measles outbreak, health officials say it is a good idea if you're older than 50 to get a measles vaccine, and that is because those who were vaccinated back in the 60s may have received only partial immunity. Doctors say patients who received one in that first 5 years that they were on the market were not that effective. You can get your blood tested or just get the measles booster, which is the less expensive option, and there is another age group that might also want to consider a measles booster. So far this year, the CDC has confirmed 704 cases. That is the largest number since measles was declared eliminated in the U.S. in 2000. Most cases have been in unvaccinated children. Kids 5 and under and adults older than 20 are more likely to suffer complications. Doctors at Pinellas County are also encouraging you to get vaccinated for hepatitis A. And this is all after the number of cases for the first quarter of this year has surpassed the total we saw in all of last year. Here's the new piece.
Let's get real about something. New cases of hepatitis A are on the rise in Tampa Bay. It's a very contagious liver infection spread by poor hand hygiene. The virus can live on almost any surface for months, so you, yes you, are at risk. There are 2 ways to stop the spread.
Area health departments are providing the vaccine for free or at a lower cost to help fight the outbreak. It's possible for you to have an infection for 2 weeks and spread it before you even start to feel the symptoms like fever, nausea, and jaundice. Now, a hepatitis A scare has a popular restaurant making some big changes. Brightside reporter Jenny Dean shows you why this particular case did not trigger a public health alert.
Prevention.
Time now is 6:27. Let's go out to Madison Allworth once again, live in downtown Tampa with what she is working on for our next half hour. Oh my goodness, Madison.
Hey guys, yes, I'm here with Roxanne, one of the champion dog racers. She's racing today in the annual Florida Derby, Wiener Dog Derby. We're going to tell you more about Roxanne and how special this event is coming up soon.
Right now on your bright side, weekend rescuers are calling it a miracle. A 737 ends up in a river everyone is accounted for, but due this morning, growing concern about what is still left on board. And it is Derby Day. This morning, we'll take a look at which horse is the best bet to win, win, win. That's a hint, by the way. Biking along all the trails we have here in Tampa Bay is pretty popular, but you might want to consider biking the waterways, too. Good morning to you. It is Saturday, May 4th, 2019. You are up on the bright side. We thank you so much for starting your morning with us. I'm Josh Sidoro.
And I'm meteorologist Natalie Ferrari.
You got your derby hat?
No, I got my beach hat. I haven't invested quite in a fancy derby hat, but I'm always that awkward person in the background who's like, this will suffice, right? We're in Florida.
Sure.
Not Kentucky.
As long as it's big and floppy and whatever.
In everybody's way. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Perfect derby hat.
No kidding.
Good day to go to the beach, though, if you do want to go and do that instead?
I think today is going to be the day. Absolutely. We are tracking storm chances by the time the weekend is over. I'll walk you through that hour by hour in just a few moments.
All right, we will see you then, Natalie. Thank you. Right now, there is some growing concern about the pets that are still on this 737 that skidded off the runway and into the river at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville. Authorities say that the animals have not yet been removed from the plane because of safety issues. The jet was arriving from Naval Station Guantanamo Bay in Cuba just before 10 last night when it slid off the runway. It is a charter flight. It goes between the military bases. All 136 passengers and 7 crew members have been accounted for. No one was seriously hurt.
Passengers were provided some shelter and some water as we waited, and we've since, with cooperation from NTSB, have released the passengers to continue on this evening to find comfort and recover from their situation.
21 people were taken to the hospital with some minor injuries for release just about an hour ago. We will continue to bring you new information here on 10 News and on WTSP.com.
I have 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff.
And yes, we have liftoff after a week of problems for SpaceX. The Dragon spacecraft successfully launching just before 3 this morning from Kennedy Space Center. Dragon now on its way to the International Space Station, along with 5,500 pounds of equipment and supplies for the crew there. The spacecraft will remain at the ISS for about 4 weeks. Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies are cracking down on speeding motorcycles. Look at this. They released this dramatic video showing just how dangerous, obviously, this can get. This is helmet camera video showing a biker flying past deputies on US 19, weaving in and out of traffic before eventually slamming into a car that was making a turn. We know that motorcyclist is now recovering. Whoa, there you see that there is recovering in the hospital. A pit bull named Ollie is being treated for an extreme case of road rash. This is really disturbing here. Some people in Spring Hill say they saw the dog on a rope being dragged behind a truck. Ollie was rescued. He was taken to Nature Coast Animal Wellness Center. The vet says, remarkably, he has no broken bones. They are checking him, though, for signs of internal injuries. Witnesses say the truck was an older model with faded dark blue paint. Well, we have been following this closely for the past several weeks here. The governor signing the firefighter cancer bill into law yesterday. It will help firefighters who develop 21 different types of cancer from exposure on the job. Florida will join 45 other states in providing a cancer benefit to first responders. The law will go into effect on July 1st. Well, happening today, it is race day for the Kentucky Derby, as we have been talking about. Of course, everybody has got their own strategy for picking a winner, whether you're looking at jockeys and trainers, values, or maybe even just because you like the name, right? Well, the Derby can be a lot more fun when you've got a little action riding on it, too. 10 News reporter Phil Buck sat down with a racing analyst at Tampa Bay Downs to get some expert advice on placing your best bet.
What do you look for when you're handicapping a horse?
Who he likes for this Derby. Well, one of his favorites is Win, 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 who won the Pasco Stakes at Tampa Bay Downs earlier this season. If you're looking for a place to bet on the race, you can head to WTSP.com. We've got everything you need to know posted right there. And hey, speaking of Derby Day here in Tampa, there's a different kind of Derby race happening at the Riverfest later this morning. Brightside reporter Madison Alford live at Curtis Hickson Park with some of the competitors. Good morning to you once again, Madison. Oh my goodness.
Yes, good morning, good morning. I'm right here with Roxy. Down, check out the live music, tons of food, tons of drinks, and lots of wiener dog derby racing, guys.
Peanut butter eating contest. That cracks me up the most. Hey, Madison, real quick, this isn't like a truly intense race, right? Like they're not training these dogs year round or anything, are they?
So there is actually a bit of training that happens. The dogs teach one another. They are behind the gates, as you heard in the soundbite. So, I mean, yeah, there is definitely training. These dogs go and travel around. There's a national championship. Roxy, I believe, has been the national champion in 2015 and 17. Wow. So this is, I mean, everyone has fun. There's not real big prize money or anything. It's for the love of the sport, but it's a real sport.
All right, the more you know.
Fascinating.
I'm most excited about the peanut butter eating contest.
No
I'm just
kidding.
going to put it
We
out
don't even
there.
have wiener dogs and they'd win. They'd win too. All day, every day.
Well, okay, so obviously it's Derby Day, but not only Derby Day, I don't know if you noticed the date, it is Star Wars Day too, right? May the 4th be with you.
Gonna hear it all day long, guys.
If you've ever wanted, though, to work in a galaxy far, far away, now is your chance.
Yeah, Disney World is hiring actors to work in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Auditions are being held May 21st and 22nd. Thinking about auditioning? We have everything you need to know about it over on WTSP.com.
You are going to keep hearing it over and over again.
All day long.
The 4th be with you. All right. Hey, some bad news for you social media influencers. It could get harder to tell who is Insta famous.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah. It is the weekend after all, so why not get up, get out, do something fun while you can. Brightside reporter Sean Stryker shows you how to pedal your way through Tampa on water.
Than riding a bike because you don't even have to worry about balance. As long as you can reach the pedals, you should be good to go.
Now that looks like work, though.
You're like, if I'm on the water,
You know.
I don't want to be pedaling my way through. I'm
Can we get a
intrigued.
two-seater? You pedal, I'll sit in the back.
Why am I not surprised? But you know what? If you're already going to be out in Curtis Hickson Park for the Riverfest activities, which there's several going on,
There's a
it's
lot
not
of
just
stuff.
one, then you can maybe burn off a few of those
That's
cool
true.
beverages you had.
Yeah. I mean, whatever food they've got out there too. Yeah, that's a whole new way to look at getting around, doing something different. And they did say it was probably easier than actually pedaling a real bike, right?
Yes, they did say that. And you don't have to have balance.
I'll let you do the driving though.
Whenever I do check it out, I'll be hitting you up, sending you all the pictures. But yeah, out across the Tampa Bay area, it is going to be fantastic. In the forecast over the next several days, even into early next week, low rain chances sticking around.
6:48. Let's take a look at what is trending right now. Natalie, you know what they say. Do it for the Insta.
Okay.
Do it for the likes. She's not listening to me. Well, maybe not for much longer, though. Here's why. Instagram announcing at its developers conference that it'll be testing a new feature that hides public like counts on photos. The test will not show likes on users' profiles or on the Instagram home feed. Only the poster will be able to see how many likes they get. Instagram says it wants users to focus on the content of the videos and the photos rather than how many likes they can get for it.
Yes, Josh, I hear you. I'm liking all your photos as we speak.
Thank you. I need validation, please. You know what? If we could all just cut it back a little bit on social media.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I say that, and then you like go to our social media accounts like first thing on the weekends. We're like, hi, Josh, look at me.
Because we want to.
Yes.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, something else people have been talking about is Jeopardy James. Have you been following along?
This guy is incredible to watch.
I haven't been actually watching all of these shows because, it's been weeks at this point. You won't see him compete, though, when Jeopardy returns on Monday. But don't worry, guys. It's not because he lost. James actually closed his second straight win yesterday, bringing his total winnings to nearly $1.7 million. Over the next 2 weeks, though, it's the teachers tournament. We got to give the spotlight to someone else for just a little bit. James will actually be back competing for more money on May 20th.
He's tired. He needs a break.
He needs a break. We got to highlight our teachers, too. Got to give them that.
Too. Yes, that'll be a good tournament. All right. Well, if you have taken a trip out of Port Tampa Bay, you probably cruised past one of Tampa Bay's hidden gems. It is a bird watcher's paradise right in our own backyard. 10 News reporter Bobby Lewis is on the road in Hillsborough County where a secret spot offers some exclusive encounters.
Oh, wow.
But it's worth the view.
That we might have the biggest, baddest nesting season ever.
All right, so you probably know they've got classes where you can get your body into shape, but what about your taste buds? Anthony Mason and Dana Jacobson are in New York. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Josh. Coming up, all the morning's headlines.
Plus, there are boot camps that promise to get you fit, but we found one here in New York City that exercises your knowledge of cheese.
Cheese?
Cheese. Get ready to eat. We're going to take you inside the intensive and often aromatic 3-day course.
And while Avengers Endgame breaks box office records, we'll show you some of the other movies that'll be hitting theaters this summer.
All of that plus your eye opener, the dish, and music in our Saturday session. It's just ahead on CBS This Morning, Saturday.
And cheese.
And cheese.
I know we're both here like, cheese. That's in about 5 minutes here on WTSP. First, though, a final check on what is making headlines here this morning. Right now, federal investigators are trying to figure out what caused a 737 to slide off the runway at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville and into a river there. Authorities are calling it a miracle that all passengers and crew members on board did not suffer any serious injuries.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff.
Well, after a week of problems for SpaceX, the Dragon spacecraft finally launching just before 3 this morning from Kennedy Space Center. It's now on its way to the International Space Station, along with about 5,500 pounds of equipment and supplies. And it is race day. The 145th running of the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs is tonight. Tampa Bay Downs Derby winner Tacitus is among the 20 horses running for the Roses. Tacitus. Or Win Win Win, apparently, is another favorite.
Yeah.
Not local, but
They're like all the positive energy. We'll take it all.
I just go for the names that I like the most.
The names that you like the most.
I have no other basis of knowledge for my Kentucky Derby.
I like to keep the earnings I've earned in life.
Oh, you don't bet?
No.
But you will have a mid-July flows.
Only 120,000.
Only 120,000.
With some of my best friends. No kidding. Hey, today's going to actually be a great day to get out and about. It's just going to feel on the humid side very warm, mild and muggy, 20% chance for an inland shower, but chances look a little bit better for a brief window of time in the late afternoon tomorrow. So keep that in mind.
Enjoy your Saturday, everybody. We're back here again tomorrow at 7. Bye.